Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boy CryptoKeeper. Hopefully everybody's doing well. It is what is today? These days get mixed up. Wednesday. It is a beautiful Wednesday here in sunny Ohio. Well, not so sunny. It's actually raining and looks terrible. But I'm excited about the show today. I've ever since I made the shift over, since I bought out Crusader, I've been shifting over to doing some degen stuff on Wednesday. So on Wednesdays, my goal is to bring all of you that have been following me for a long time into the fold of degenerative crypto stuff. And I'm going to bring on people that I know from the degen side of the world that is crypto and try to give you guys as best information as humanly possible. Because at the end of the day, I know what each and every one of you want to do. You want to make money, right? And there's a lot of opportunity for money to be made in the degen space, but it can also be a dangerous space. So I'm going to bring somebody up here in just a second that ultimately really, truly, now, I had been in the space playing around here and there. You know, I talked a lot of trash last market, last bull run about the Memecoin space. Then I kind of transferred over a little bit as it continued to get closer to this bull market where I was playing around a little bit. And then I met this individual and he just kind of turned on the little light switch. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to miss a whole side of crypto. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I want to see what this is about. And ever since then, I have been diving in. I have been learning a lot. And there's a lot to know in the space that you just wouldn't ever know unless you get introduced to it. So super glad that I have met him. Real quick, let me jump in the chat and then I'll bring him up. Who's in the chat today? We got Ion Crypto said, hey guys, smash those likes when you're coming in. That's right. Smash the like. It's easy. If you are on mobile, all you got to do is X out of the live chat, hit the like, come on right back in. You can do that. Clay the Great, and boy, is he great. Hootie hoo. What up, fam? What's good, Keeper? What's good, brother? Glad to see you. Susie, is she in gloomy Ohio as well? I don't know. But good to see you, Susie. And if that's the Susie I think it is, I'm really glad to see you, Susie. Glad that you are here. All right, what up, Blood? My boy, Blood. Are you ready for the blood that is going to befall your body when I blast you with my chart abilities tomorrow in the 1v1. That's right. Trading Wars tomorrow, the 1v1. It got thrown out to me like, yo, Keeper, you should do the 1v1 with Blood. And I was like, for the first week, because there's not somebody to go to do, you know, we only kicked officially one person and kept one person the 1v1. And I was like, that's a terrible idea. I'm probably going to get smoked, but I'm going to have fun doing it. And I love Blood, so I'm excited that we're going to be doing that. Seymour Liddy in the house, and hold on, who else did I miss? Kid the Day, Larry, notice me. That's what. So as I bring him up, Kid the Day says, Larry, please notice me. So without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend behind the whale smoking a cigar, Larry the Whale. Larry, what's up, brother?
What's up, Keeper? Appreciate you having me here, man.
Dude, I am glad that you're here. I look back to when we met, and I remember one of the things that I remember most was that we stood out on it was either the driveway or the back deck of this beautiful home, and you introduced me to the Maestro sniper bot. And I, for so long, dude, thought that the sniper game was this big, deep, tech intensive, like, people that knew all of these things that I just could never, get myself to. And you're like, bro, no, like, it's just a bot on Telegram. You can, like, install it. Here, let me show you. Click this, click this, click this. And yeah, it'll work. And you can one-click buy, and you're going to be faster than other people. So congrats to Larry for being able to show your boy Keeper here how to use Maestro. Larry, let me start off with that. Let me kick it off with this. What brought you into the space? We're going to have some fun with the interview today, guys. Really, let me just tell you on the front end, this is all about trying to show you the other side, and the other side is going to allow you to hopefully get some insight on making money. And so that's what I brought Larry on for, because he's helped me make money, which in turn, hopefully I can help you make money. That's the goal here. But Larry, what brought you into the crypto space?
I would say back in 2018, 2017, my dad was actually buying Bitcoin. He was trying to get me to invest, and obviously I'm just a kid, but was working several different jobs and I was taking some money, throwing it in. About 30 Ethereum for, I think it was $6 a pop. And I hadn't sold them until, 2021, 2022.
Uh-huh.
NFTs, but yeah, it was pretty much just my dad telling me, "Don't be stupid, get in, don't miss this." And he had no idea what the fuck it is either, but all of his buddies were buying, and he had some reason to believe it was going to be successful. So
Your dad's a techie guy, right?
yeah, he owns a software company.
Yeah. That's super cool, man. It's funny. It's usually the other way around. It's usually the kids introducing their parents into the crypto space. I think you're one of the few people that I've met that it was the other way around, that it was the parent introducing the kid into the space.
Well, don't get it twisted. I don't even think my dad can explain what Bitcoin is, but he just knew to buy it.
You just say, hey, go to this thing called Coinbase and buy some shit, and you're going to make money.
Yeah,
that's effectively what it came down to.
Yeah,
that is funny. That is funny. So yeah, let me ask this: has it been since the start when you first got in? Now in 2017, 2018, there wasn't really anything other than maybe Dogecoin at that point. But were you just putzing around, playing around? Like, when did you start to make the shift into playing with the degen side of crypto?
I would say the 2021 bull run. I had actually sold the Ethereum I had bought back then, and entered into the NFT market. And I think that's when you become a degen, when you're buying pictures of monkeys and avatars for 20, 30, 50, $100,000 a piece.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, that's when it all shifted.
Absolutely crazy, dude. The NFT game was wild. We had an NFT drop that myself and Crusader did, and it was, the front end of the drop. I think there was something like maybe like 30 grand that came in a couple hours. Like, there was just people just flooding in to these markets left, right, and sideways. So let's talk about it. Let's dive right in. Actually, hold on a second. No, let me strike that. Pause. Let me show you guys real quick where we're at with the crypto markets, because we got to do that. Obviously, we're not pulling away from being a crypto-centric show. First of all, if you are not following your boy on X, make sure to fix that problem. Crypto Wars OG. And then, hey, follow Larry as well. Larry's got his link down below the stream, so make sure to do that. And if you guys are looking to get involved with Trading Wars Mondays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to, like I said, doing a little 1v1 action with blood. But let's take a look at the markets. Let's see where we're at. So the global crypto market cap, let me update here, is at 2.725 trillion with a T dollars. That's up 0.7%. So we're sitting pretty flat overall. Bitcoin, hey, listen, we're up over 69K. We've been farting around, headed back towards the 66, 67 numbers. We're at 69,382. Let me zoom in a little bit there. ETH at 35.21. BNB up over $600. I've been watching this thing do its thing for a while. Solana, we're going to talk about some Solana today for sure, since we're talking about Memecoins. It's at $170, up a little bit. XRP up a little bit. USDC, Dogecoin, Toncoin. We're definitely talking about Toncoin. Toncoin is up 1.7%, and it has just been on an absolute tear. All right, so that's the markets. Let me just click over one more thing. Let me just show you the trend lines that I had created from yesterday. We have broken out to the upside, which is a good thing. Effectively, we were headed down towards right here. This red line is this point of control. We were headed down towards it, but we bounced off of my trend line a couple times and then headed up. And then what do you know? Bounced back off there, bounced again, came back, and then we are on the way through. So I'm hoping that we are up and to the right from here. I will tell you a big area to watch right here. This value area high for the month, which is at $71,003. Couple reasons why. First reason why, it's $71,000, and that's a big even number. Second thing is that it is the value area high for that range. So, all right, cool. Let's go, Larry. The reason I brought you on, let's give some people the knowledge that you have in the space. So, give me kind of an overview on like the meme coin market. How do you see it as its like significance in the broader crypto ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. So I think that meme coins play into the market in a very like specific niche way, where you have all this outside money coming in thinking it's like a get rich quick sort of ploy. right? So like you have like you said in the beginning of the call, the kids telling their parents, hey, look at all this money I'm making. This is a great opportunity. You guys should get in too. And you saw that last bull run. You see that in other markets around the world. Like whenever you find some sort of quick scheme, everyone wants to exploit it and get involved. So the good thing about it, well, there's good and bad to it, right? I think the good thing about it is you have a lot of new money being onboarded into crypto in general, and hopefully a lot of these people and investors, oh, I should rather call them gamblers, will in turn be educated on the crypto market and blockchain technology as a whole.
Yeah.
So once they're in, let's say the Pepe tokens or whatever you want to call them, they're gonna eventually see, okay, there's all these other networks for me to invest my money. You have a blockchain backed by Telegram, Ton. You have networks like Polygon. You have Solana, which obviously isn't the best right now, but you have all these different networks that actually have real world utility that they can then invest their profits in. So I think that's the good side to it. The bad side to it is a lot of people misunderstand crypto as just this meme coin world. So they think that all crypto is quick get rich money and just let's gamble on some random memes that these people that nobody knows creates, and let's pay a bunch of celebrities to endorse them, and they're all pumping numbers. Like it's a bad notion that surrounds crypto, but it's hard to kind of explain the difference to new investors when all they hear is, hey, my buddy just made 1,000x or 10,000x on some random coin called Jeff. Like it's just it's too hard to explain it to people.
It's so true though. You said all these new investors, or I should say gamblers, coming into the space, and what I do want to dive into some more is that particularly the investor gambler side of things, because I think it's really important to understand where you fall in that. Because you said something to me that actually so I used to push against the whole shitcoin community a lot. And the reason being because there's a lot of stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff in the whole crypto space. But you said something to me that caught my attention the very first time that I met you. And it was something to the effect of, listen, man, I don't participate in this pump and dump crap. I pay for good information, and that gives us opportunities to work together to make money. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Because what I don't like about the shitcoin space is how people try to basically, I think there was a comment one time that was like, hey, yeah, go ahead. You and your whole group of friends use each other as exit liquidity, right? I think you might have said that to me. Like, you can go for it. You guys use your friends as exit liquidity. I'm not being a part of it. And I love that because it told me right off the bat that, hey, even though we're gambling, we're trying to do our best to get good information and then to work together for us all to make money, not just to dupe somebody into buying as I dump on their head. And that's what, that's the side of the meme coin space that I don't like. You know what I mean? So what got you into it? Was it the same thing as everybody else? Was it that, man, my buddy made, it's always my buddy made whatever, like you said? Was that what originally introduced you to it? Was that the opportunity to make a lot of money with a little?
I think it's part of it. Like, I'm not gonna, sit here and lie to you and say that I wasn't interested in the money.
Of course,
but
we all are.
Yeah, but I think a big side of it was, I'll share briefly my story, later in the call. But I was actually drained. I lost a ton of money, all the NFTs that I invested in last bull run, and I had stepped away from crypto for about a year, from 2022 to 2023. And by the time I came back, I was pretty knowledgeable about the space. I had a skill set around marketing and building relationships and, setting up connections with different sort of projects. And so I decided to kind of apply that value to other projects that I knew were going on and things I was interested in. And I wouldn't call it a passion, but it's more of like a hobby where I enjoy doing it. I enjoy meeting these new people every day. I enjoy having friends across the world in all different countries where I figured I'd never know anybody. People are asking every day, like, when are you going to come visit, here, Scotland, Australia, like just the craziest places. And it's really cool to get to know these types of people, understand their culture, understand how they operate, understand their upbringing, how it, differs from mine. And then kind of just becoming online friends in a sense where we start investing together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like you're playing a video game with some online friends, right? Like you're just trading crypto with online friends and you build a community around it, and it's something new and exciting every single day. And I think, again, the money's a big part of it. Like
Yeah,
that's why
of course.
everyone's there, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're connected over. We all want to make money together. It's not so much like let's individually win and then show off our wins, but more so like each of us are happy when another wins, and that's
Yeah.
what I love about it.
Yeah, dude. And on top of that, you talked about basically these communities and these people that you're meeting, and it is wild. I have made a lot of friends in crypto. I used to tell this story about how before Crusader and I ever started the business together, prior to obviously us parting ways recently, but we literally had a bank account together with money in it, and we had never met in person. We literally had a freaking bank account, a Web 2 bank account, right? And had never met in person. And so one of the things that I also have learned from this space is that even though it has such a bad rap, there's a lot of really freaking good people here too. I go to a lot of the events, people see me at events, I meet a ton of different people, and it's always interesting because you don't know what's behind, always behind, what you're going to get as far as what does this person look like? What's their this, that, the third? But you do kind of get to know them through these groups, which brings me to kind of my next question. And I think this is one of the key things in the crypto space as it were with Memecoins. I'm going to talk about Telegram here in just a second. First off, though, make sure to smash the like. Make sure you follow Larry the Whale on X. If you have not done that already, his link is down below the stream. Smash that like. Make sure to put on the bell notification as well. Kid today, Larry, he loves you. Just throw it out there, you know what I mean? So he wanted you to notice him, so I'm making you notice him.
You are noticed.
Play the great. What'd you say?
I said you are noticed, kid today.
Clay said, always ask yourself, how does this actually produce income, uses, cases, and why would you even have to have it? Yeah, Clay, there is ultimately that thought process, depending on, will operate in almost any and every business sense, right? But there's a lot of these that are actively, exactly what they are, putting out a token for some people to win and some people to lose. And that's why Larry said it is gambling. So let's talk about the Telegram group, dude. How do the Telegram groups and X, right? How do they play a pivotal role in the meme coin market dynamics? Because one of the things that I did learn is that Twitter groups and X, those two, more from what I'm seeing, Telegram than X, genuinely are what pushes some of these meme coins to infinity and beyond. Talk to me about what that looks like.
Yeah, sure. So I think it's twofold. So there's paid Telegram groups where you have a lot of these so-called callers, KOLs, influencers. If you guys aren't familiar, KOL is a key opinion leader. A lot of these guys get paid by projects directly to either post on their Twitters, their call channels, their alpha groups, so to speak, paid groups, these plays, and they get them early enough entry where their paid entry to this group makes sense, right? It ends up paying off. But in my opinion, these guys are scammers. Put it lightly. Like, no one should be charging entry to a group. Like, if you want shared alpha, then you want to create a good group with a solid community where everyone wants to share with each other and see each other win.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I did with my group. I'm in a lot of groups that are very similar to mine, but I think the main mission of it was like, let's stay away from the paid entry bullshit. Let's stay away from people paying me to show things, because I'd say 9.9 out of 10 times these things are rugs or some sort of pump and dump scam where they use groups just like mine or call channels just like mine to get exit liquidity for their project.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to fall into those stupid traps for a couple bucks. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I wanted to create a group, like I said earlier, that is genuinely happy when another member wins.
Yeah.
It's someone will share their win and everyone's happy for them. Another person will share, then that same guy who just won is remitting the same emotion towards this guy, right? So
Yeah.
it's almost like a family in a way, that we all like
Mhm.
want to know each other, make fun of each other, poke jokes. Like, it just, you want to have fun with it, right? So back to your question, it really varies, the project success based on every group you share it in. But I think genuinely, if you share a project in more groups like mine, it'll mostly do better in the long run than the paid entry chats, or the chats with 400 people that are all getting in earlier than everybody else and using the rest of the group for extra liquidity. Like,
Mm.
it's hard to kind of depict, you know, which would be more successful. Kind of varies project to project, but
Yeah.
I think if you're trying to push something long term, and again, like, meme coins, like, it's not only just a meme most of the time. Like, there's a lot of utility that comes into these things. And when I say utility, I'm not talking about some life changing, medical equipment, but what I am saying is, there'll be like narratives to support.
Yeah.
For instance, like, donations from the project might go to Trump campaign. There you go. You got a tunnel on the screen. So like, there's narratives that surround a lot of these memes where groups can get behind it and help push it. And as
Yeah.
long as that's there and you give them the ability to do so, then a lot of these things have a lot bigger potential. But if you just call a token keeper and no one knows who keeper is, like,
Mhm.
it'd be hard to send it.
Yeah. And I like getting behind the movement, because what ultimately, who was it that said it? I think it was it Enrique? No, it was Clay the Great. What ultimately Clay the Great was saying was like, hey, what are we actually getting involved in? You have to ask yourself, what is the modus operandi here? What's actually happening? And so, okay, the memes are fun. They're cute. They're this. They give you the opportunity to make money. But just remember, for everybody that's watching, right, there's going to be people that are going to win. There's going to be people that are going to lose, and you are actively gambling. As long as everyone is on the same page with that, then gamble at your own risk, right? There's a lot of really good people in this space that are trying to see all of their friends and family win as well. And I like, Larry, that you don't charge for your group. I think that the group is awesome, dude, because I know that I had a number, and this has happened a few times, but that I've had questions with a couple of the bots and just kind of issues or whatever. Octane, for example, shout out to Octane if you're watching, spent 25 minutes on the phone with me going over the banana bot, because I had some questions and I didn't truly understand what I was doing. And I'm glad that I did, because I would have made mistakes, right? And the only reason that he did that, he wasn't getting paid to do that. It wasn't because I was buying something after him so that he could exit. No, it was literally, he's like, man, I want the other people in the group to succeed, because we have become friends via this thing called Telegram, which is really freaking cool. So let me ask about that. So Telegram, Ton. I was just showing Tonald as an example of what you were talking about with some utility and whatnot. You were the one, actually, I want to give you a shout out, that introduced me to Ton. Like, genuinely introduced me. You introduced me around $2.
Mm-hmm.
And I continued to, ask some questions and looked at some different things. You introduced me to the CryptoKeeper app, which the wallet, which is fantastic. I was like, oh, that's easy. CryptoKeeper. All right. Yeah, makes sense. You introduced me to that. You introduced me to StoneFi. You introduced me, obviously, into some of these other projects that we've got involved in. Why do you think that Ton is so important and doing so well? Because check this out. I want to show you right here. If we look at the crypto bubbles right now, there's not too many of them that are green. But guess what? I got highlighted right now. Ton is, right? Now there's others, obviously, that are up, but the majority of stuff is red. And Ton has been on an absolute tear. Let me see if I can oh, there we go. Ton has been on an absolute tear. Look at this. The day, 1.4%. The week, 34.3%. The month, 136%. And the year, 203%. This thing has been absolutely ripping. Why do you think that is?
Well, so I love Ton. I actually tweeted last night, like, I'm going all in on Ton right now. Full focus is there. Not money wise, but full. All my attention is on Ton.
Yeah.
I think 95% of the crypto space has no idea that Ton is an ecosystem built by Telegram itself.
I agree.
Like nobody is familiar with this blockchain, and it's so weird because it's so useful and applicable to all these different things going on in Telegram.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be some sort of crazy price shock when everyone wakes up to it and you have the big influencers getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this so Ton in general, there's a lot of different utilities that they're going to be incorporating into Telegram itself. I'd say 80%, if not more, of the crypto space lives on Telegram. So everyone's going to get to see it.
Yeah.
Some of those features include like direct wallet on messaging. So if Keeper and I are DMing, we can send payment right through the chat.
Which is dope. Super
Yeah.
dope.
There's also different, what do you call it? Ad incentives. So like you can get ads on different chats and, earn some sort of royalty fee or, monetary reward for plugging in these ads. You're going to get compensated for engagement in groups. So if you own different Telegram groups, whether it be for a project or an alpha group or a call channel, you're actually going to get paid for that very soon. So it's almost turning into like a YouTube sort of TikTok model, right? Where all these influencers, KOLs, and crypto leaders, so to speak, are actually going to get paid and monetized for their time. These channels will start making some serious money, and I think it's going to onboard a lot of the bigger players, like from the normies, all the big celebrities and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they're going to kind of try to, make some money on Telegram. Now, in the next week or so, everyone's predicting around April 20th to April 24th, there's going to be something called the Notcoin airdrop. And so Notcoin is created by a dev named Sasha something of course, Russian names and not.
Sasha something of.
Something off. But yeah, so he created Notcoin, and essentially what it is a way to farm engagement on Telegram. So what that means is you can create a Notcoin account within Telegram. You just kind of go to the chats at Notcoin, and you're able to farm these Notcoins. Now, in order to farm them, you have to either invite people to the Telegram app, complete different challenges, create a group where your community is farming it together. You can directly just click on the screen like that clicker game. I'm not sure if you guys played as a kid, but you can do that to earn tokens. But there's multiple different ways, but it's super smart because it keeps a lot of people engaged with Telegram every day because they want to farm these Notcoins. And now when this Notcoin airdrop comes, they're projecting billions of dollars injected into the Ton ecosystem. Now, I think it's going to change people's lives. No one's sure of the ratio yet in terms of Ton to not, but should be high enough where a lot of people make a lot of money. And the market cap for Ton right now, I think it's around 22 billion. I see it going upwards of 30 within a day, maybe 2 days.
And hold on, do people that are currently holding Ton get this airdrop, or they have to go and do some of this Notcoin interaction?
They either have to farm Notcoins, and there's not a lot of time, but you start with like 1 million, or I think a minimum of 1 million tokens, or you can buy W Not the token, which will be a 1-to-1 airdrop. You can share the link later, and then there's also an NFT you can buy that's like vouchers. So it's 10 million Notcoin vouchers a piece. Okay. And I think they're like 15 Ton, so like almost $80 or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, there's so much happening over on Telegram, and it really is where it's at. Like, what are the strategies, dude, to navigate all of this information? There's so much hype on Telegram. There's so much information coming in. How do you what would you say is a strategy, if there is one, to navigate some of the hype within the platform? Because there's just so much of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. Like, the best advice I would give to someone starting new or someone that's like kind of lost, maybe they've been on a losing grind and, haven't been able to hit the winners that their friends have with the 10,000 X's or, whatever it may be. I would say start building relationships with people that genuinely like care and aren't just there to show off. Like that's pretty much how I started. I found a group of probably like 3 to 5 people that genuinely cared about each other's gains and what they were doing every day. Like, hey, how was your weekend? How was this? Like, you told me you went to the comedy show. How was it? Like, things like that get you a lot more excited about what you're doing. And when you're excited about what you're doing, you're a lot more passionate about it, and you put a lot more time into it, right? So when you build a relationship with people like that, you want to succeed and you want them to succeed. So when you find something, a good play yourself, sure, you share it. Let's say it does a 5x, which is awesome.
Yeah.
No discredit there. But if I share a 5x with my buddy, let's say Keeper, that's great. He just made money. Now, in return, he's going to see that, recognize that, and he's going to share an opportunity when it comes his way. And that play might do a 10x, like it just goes back and forth and back and forth. And like, once you build this little group amongst yourself of friends, it's always coming back and forth. It's not just, hey, you owe me alpha because I sent you alpha. It's more like I could send 10 times in a row and these
Yeah.
guys don't owe me anything. But I know that eventually they're going to have some opportunity come their way.
Yeah.
And so if you're just starting, like, find those core people that you genuinely want to win with. And, not people that just have a lot of money or super connected, because they're not going to pay you the time of day. But people that are, ultimately on your level, maybe a bit more advanced knowledge-wise in the space, and can share some sort of information with you, then surround yourself with them, start trading with them, start a small group chat where you guys just talk about things going on. We call it the back chats. So, if you're in a big 100 to 200 person group, take 3 to 5 people that you like, set up a smaller chat and kind of just talk shit, see what's going on between that group.
Yeah.
And try to win together.
Yeah. And then you get that relationship and it just grows, it fosters, and ultimately you don't even realize it, but all of a sudden you feel like, I had somebody telling me recently, I was talking about you, Larry. I was like, my buddy Larry, and she was joking with me and she was like, but like, I don't understand how you could consider in your butt. I'm like, you know what? You grow these relationships. Obviously, we've met in person and whatever, but you grow these relationships on these apps, and you genuinely feel like you become friends. And then if and when you do meet in person, yeah, it's my freaking buddy. So get off my ass, okay? No. So I love what's happening overall in the space with people that have genuinely good intentions. So what does that look like as far as what makes a meme coin successful? Like, there's a million of them that fail, and there's some of them that do insanely well. What are the factors that contribute, in your estimation, to the failure or success of a meme coin? Because we've had some conversations privately, you and I have, about this. What do you think makes one good, bad, or indifferent?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, back to your point, right? It's like the trustworthy guys in the space are very rare, and I personally don't trust anybody. Like, it will take me, I don't even think 5-10 years of getting to know you every day to fully trust you, but that's just because I've been through it.
Yeah.
I've seen the dark sides of the space, and traumatizing as hell. But uh, I think once you can find the good players and the good developers who genuinely, like, it's really hard to believe, but it's true. It's like these guys just want to build cool shit. Like, a lot of these developers already have a ton of money. And it's not that they don't want more money, they do. They just want, like, to make a difference and achieve something great. And when they take a project to 20 to 50 million dollar market cap, they, like, genuinely feel like they accomplished a huge goal. And a lot of these other developers will, they're also, trying to build cool shit, but they take a project to 2 to 5 million market cap, let's say, and they see that money in their account, and something just comes over them where the money becomes a lot more important. Or that's already how they felt, before the project even started. But the guys that can kind of sit and hold and not, get too excited by the money that they've already made, can take things far. And I think that's what it really comes down to. You can have the greatest narrative in the world. Let's take the Memecoin on ETH that went to 600 million, maybe even more.
Yeah.
You have a 5.5 tax, or maybe it's lower. I think it's 5.5, but the taxes are donated to Trump's campaign, Veterans Foundation, all these different, Republican-backed organizations. Like, I think they've donated millions and millions of dollars to all these different organizations. And so if you had a team backing that coin that wasn't going to fall through with those promises, or skimming from taxes, not donating all of it, like, it wouldn't have done as well as it did. And I think that's the huge difference. You find an honest team that really believes in the concept that they're running. Like, they genuinely think this is the next $1 billion project, and they're actually able to take it there.
Yeah.
We pretty much watched it happen. I mean, 600 million billion, what's the difference? But they, they believed in it since day one. I unfortunately sold at like 5 million market cap, so I'm roping over here. But I also believed in the concept, but I didn't think that the team would be as genuine as they were, and I don't even think they sold $1 on that run up. You got to tell by tracking wallets and whatnot what's theirs, what's not. But
yeah,
they took it really far. They got a lot of people involved. They got a lot of the normies talking about it. There were news, hosts on Twitter, like, saying, like, what the hell is this Memecoin? They're sending all this money to Donald Trump. His ETH wallet is loaded up. What the hell is going on? Like, when you have things going like that, it really fuels your narrative.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it comes down to, right? Like, how can you get as many people as possible talking about what you're doing and supporting it? And if you can do that successfully, then the project will be a success. But if it's just some random meme that you just want to quickly pump and there's no real narrative behind it, doesn't really follow anything, like, it's not going to do as well as you think. And, I mean, if you're putting in all your money and you have a good amount, maybe, like, you can help pump it and back dips and market manipulate a bit. But I think in the end of the day, it all comes down to how passionate you are about your project and how much you believe in it. And if you genuinely believe you can take it far, you can take it far.
It's literally what I've heard you say over and over again. It's that narrative combined with the team, and the team's so important, because what I started to learn from being on some of these teams is that there's so much happening in the background. Because let's be fair, we like to be intellectually honest here, right? The reality is the majority of the crypto space is based on hype. Even the big coins, right? Even the big dogs are based on hype. When something is in the news all the time, when something is hyped and the community is behind it, it does really well. There's a lot of people that invest in multiple different cryptocurrencies that actually have very good real world use case. And if you ask them what it did or the last time they actually utilized it for that purpose, they'd have no idea. And they would tell you, well, I haven't done that, right? Because it is just a hype driven, making money opportunity. What I like with what you're saying with the meme coins, and this is why it's really important for the team and the narrative, is because a lot of these do start off, let's say we spun up a coin today, Larry, right? The people that were on this stream, let's say we did it right now as we're live on the stream, the 20 people in here are going to be the people, if they believed in us, are going to be the first 20 people to actually have an opportunity to invest in this. And many of us have learned over time that getting in on the front end is how you ultimately win, or should win, if you are diligent about how you take profits and how you effectively play the game. But if those same 20 people were getting in, and you and I had other than good intentions, and we said, hey guys, we need to do a pre-sale, everybody's got to put in 5 ETH and blah, 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 right? Then all of a sudden made a decision other than kosher, because we weren't a legitimate good team with good intentions, you have the same opportunity that the people thought they were getting in that get absolutely screwed. So that team has to be there. And then the narrative I like, because it tells a story. It gives the opportunity for, like you said, for the news to catch on to it, for different Telegram groups, different Twitter groups, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. The fact is, what's the known, no news is bad news. No. There's definitely bad news.
No bad news is bad news.
No. I was trying to say, basically, like, there's no such thing as bad publicity. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as bad publicity in this space. That's a fact, right? Short of, it's just saying, oh, it's a rug, this guy's going to rug you, whatever. Other than that, no publicity is bad publicity. So that narrative will continue to play out and win over time. Crypto fam, smash that like if you haven't already. Make sure you're following Larry the Whale. He has brought me a lot of opportunities in the crypto space. Follow him on X. His information is there. So let me ask you, Larry, what's some like red flags people should be aware of when they get into meme coins? Let's say they get into a Telegram group and they don't really know people, but maybe somebody said, you should join this group, and they don't have a personal connection anywhere. What's a red flag that you would say, be careful if you jumped into a group where you otherwise didn't truly know anybody?
It's a complicated question because I don't think there's, red flags are hard to notice on projects. Like, devs are typically very good at masking, their true intentions, whether good or bad. It's really hard to tell. But when I invest in something and I don't really have, let's say, information on it, or someone sent it to me and said, this is the dev's previous projects and this is what their plans are, like, that's a lot of the time what I trade on. I like knowing the experience of the team and
History,
where they plan to take it, and just having some sort of knowledge around that. But if I find something, and I like the narrative, I like what they're trying to do, I pretty much have my own checklist of things I'll run through before investing. And I think a lot of people just see low entry and they just buy it. They're like, oh my God, it's at 300K. Someone said it's going to 5 million. I got to get in right now. I can't waste another second. Like, okay, let me go. So for me, I'll take a look at the chart. If I see a solid dip, I'm wondering why it's dipping. If I see a huge candle, I'm wondering why it's candling. So I'll first off go into the Telegram group. I look through the Telegram, looking at their pinned messages. One red flag inside this checkpoint is the pinned messages. So a lot of groups early on will pin buy bots. So if you guys aren't familiar, for the viewers, in these Telegram groups, there's buy bots showing every buy coming into the chart. It'll share the liquidity, it'll share the market cap, it'll share the holder and their transaction hash, and some sort of GIF around the project. So when developers pin these big buys, it shows that they're just trying to get eyes on the project. Like, hey, look, someone put $5 grand in my project. Like, no one fucking cares. Like, that's great, but you shouldn't be sharing that. You should be sharing news relating to the project, pin tweets, updates about what's to come, why you picked that narrative, why you're so bullish on it, why you believe in it, whatever it may be. Another one is they pin calls. So these guys will pay 5 to 10 callers, KOLs, influencers, and they'll come in and they'll pin their calls in the pin section, whatever. And that's basically just a form of exit liquidity, right? So going back to me looking at the chart, I see why it's candling. I see a pin call from 5 minutes ago. Okay, now if I want to invest and I do see one of those and I still go onto the website and the Twitter and I think everything looks clean, I'll wait for that dip, because 9 times out of 10, that dip comes right after that caller calls. So
that's such a good listen, guys. You need to listen to what he just said. I have learned the hard way. Larry has told me that before, and I have not listened to it, and I have paid the price. That is so freaking good right there. If you're paying attention, when the call happens, there will be a pump. But the call is there for other people to be able to ultimately use you as the chart is pumping to take some profits. So that's where the dip is going to happen. I love that you just said that, dude. That's so true.
Yep. 100%.
That's so true. And it'll give you an opportunity if you do believe in what the project is doing moving forward, and you do believe that it has a long-term opportunity, and you do believe that you should be patient and it's not something you're just trying to get in and get out and run. Those are opportunities, and that's information that you need to know to be able to give yourself the best opportunity, which is what ultimately the reason I wanted to have you on today was to talk about opportunities and what that looks like. That's a great freaking example of something to pay attention to. Let me ask you this, Larry, without like revealing anything confidential, what will be like an insight? Give me an insight into how some of these deals are made. So the meme coins need to have traction. I'll give you on my side of things first. When I get reached out to in terms of YouTube or TikTok or X, right? They're looking at how many views does this person have? What does the engagement look like? Basically, what has this person done in the past in terms of getting eyes on things? And projects will just throw money left, right, and sideways. I get offers every single day from multiple places, yet you don't see me shill very much stuff whatsoever, because I don't just dive into anything, because I know that that's such a short-term outlook that if I just everything that got money thrown at me, you guys, I would never stop. I'd make a ton of money, but I would make it for all of about, I don't know, 3 months before you guys, if that, before you guys realize that, wait a minute, he just will say anything that he's getting paid for, right? So backing up to the question, what does that look like on the side of like kind of the Telegram and the X setups for the callers in terms of trying to make these projects do what they want them to do? How are those deals made? Is it generally in tokens? Is it generally, do they pay in stable coins? Is there like different strategies that some of these people use? What's that look like?
Yeah, it's a bit complicated. It varies kind of KOL to KOL, but I personally don't do paid calls. I just don't believe in them. Like I said earlier, if someone approaches me and says, "Hey, we want to work out some sort of supply deal, or OTC," like I would, be interested in that if I genuinely believe in the project. And I've entertained those offers before. But if someone says, "Hey, can I send you, 0.5% or 1% of the supply to call us on your channel?" Absolutely not. Like almost every time those are rugs or scams. Sometimes there actually are good projects that come to you, but it's really hard to kind of pick out the winners and figure out what's going on. Even if it's a utility play, like some sort of GPU or mining play, like a lot of the times it's just they spend $200-300, make a cool website, and a lot of people get LARPed into believing that it's actually a real utility, and then it rugs out of nowhere. Everyone's like, "What the fuck happened?" So I try to avoid those type of things. There are other. I do have a lot of friends in the space that do run call channels, and they do take payment. So no discredit to them, because a lot of the projects do very well.
Yeah.
But they also get stuck with a community that will lose all their money sometimes and have to deal with that backlash. And I don't know if, risking your community's integrity or your integrity with your community is worth it for a small chunk of money or small amount of supply.
Yeah.
I think the better deals are done, like I said, with OTC, where, hey, I understand you missed your opportunity to get in on this token early. I'm willing to give you 20-25% discount if you want to buy a certain amount of tokens, right? So it's working your way out where you get in a bit earlier entry, and then you're able to kind of push it with a bigger incentive in your pocket, right? It's, hey, okay, I'm up on this token. Let's push it even further. Let's see what we can do here.
Yeah.
Another
you're
one.
Involved. You're actually, you've got skin in the game. You're involved in what's happening.
Exactly. Another one is a whitelist opportunity. So you saw this on NFTs. It's starting to be a lot more popular now with tokens, but you'll have like a 10 to 20 person group, sometimes more, but usually that's not a good thing, of a token launch, and these people are whitelisted, right? So you have 15 to 20 people that are able to quote unquote buy the floor. So what that means is the first 15 to 20 buys will be from this group automatically. Public trading is not enabled. The whitelist trading is enabled first, and you have all these wallets buy beforehand. The reason for this is because typically you'll be able to buy up to 1-2% of the supply. When you have 20 people buying 1-2% of your supply, you have 40% owned by hand-picked individuals. Now, there's rules to this group where you can't sell a certain amount of your bag per day, your position per day, per week, per month even. And it gives the project a really good ability to understand where their floor is and who's holding it. Now, they also have everyone's wallet docs to them, right? Where did they, because they had to send in a wallet to get on this whitelist.
Yeah.
So if a project owner sees one of these people selling more than they should, they can either blacklist them, kick them from the chat, whatever it may be, and now they're never working together again.
Yeah.
So all of the whitelist group is pretty much incentivized to hold and respect the rules, respect the chat, because they work together to try to send that one project. and then they're awarded further opportunities if they show their integrity and they show that they are a true holder and not just someone who's there for the quick money, you know?
Yeah.
So
There's
yeah.
definitely rules, dude, because I had been a part of a number of projects and didn't truly understand when I first got in on some of the little intricacies of what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. And it was never about doing anything devious or wrong on my end. It was like, I'm used to being able to take profits, right? Not like in an irresponsible manner or whatever, but there's always been this thing like respect the chart. Well, the reality is on the other side of things, there's like genuinely like an understanding. Some of it's spoken, some of it's unspoken between people that, hey, this is the deal. And ultimately, it does make a lot of sense what you just said. It gives the project some more stability if you are able to handpick all of those people. And if the rules stay in play and those people are all have a vested interest to see this do well, that gives everybody else that's coming in and out of the projects the opportunity to do well also and have some more, like I said, traction and stability. Whereas when there's just a pre-sale right off of the rip to anybody and everybody, and it goes like this, the chart every single time, boo! I mean, it's literally like it dumps right off the bat because all the pre-sale people are trying to sell immediately to just get that little bit of free money that it took between the time they bought the pre-sale and the time they were able to sell when the market opened up. And so I like, and I think it's interesting, the different strategies that happen in the space, and there's just so much that's happening. So what would be, let me kind of round this out a little bit. What would you say, like, if you had to have an important piece of advice or a couple pieces of advice for somebody coming into the space, if they've been in crypto for a little bit of time, they have a genuine understanding of the markets, they know what time it is, right? They know that they're gambling. What would be a piece or two of advice that you would give to someone looking to get involved in the meme coin market? Because, for example, a lot of my people that follow me on here, because I didn't dive into this too hard until pretty recently, they're probably a little bit hesitant sometimes to like, should I be doing this? And it's not because they don't trust me, it's because they don't know what's happening behind me and what's happening there. So what would be some advice that you would give to people looking to get involved in the meme coin market?
I would, if I was starting back from day one and I had to restart this whole journey, I would say the best thing to do is understand the market as a whole. Like, understand why Bitcoin's pumping, why people are buying it, what the hell is going on with it, what are the use cases for it. And I would understand all these different chains. I'd say the top 15 to 20 different cryptos. And what they're trying to accomplish, right? Once you have a general understanding of what all these things are doing, you're going to be able to recognize a lot better opportunity in the, so to speak, meme coin market.
Yeah.
I think it really varies, in terms of what you're looking for as an investor. Are you looking for meme coins with narrative? Are you looking for, meme coins with some sort of additional utility, whether that's an NFT project or a DAO system or, some sort of show? Like there's all different things, but it really comes down like to the individual. And I think a good way to start is to stay away from the straight memes, because it's really hard to win without knowledge on who the team is, what they've done, how to spot different things in Telegram, Twitter, the website, using website creators. What do you call it? Where it shows you like the creation date of the website, gives it a score.
Yeah.
Like, these are all things that you learn over time. But I think the best thing to do and the best things to invest in are the projects that have some utility that provides a service to this space. So, for example, you have copy traders, which means you can plug in big wallets that you see aping these big coins. Let's say you find a wallet with $100 million worth of Pepe.
Okay.
You can plug that wallet into this copy trader bot, put some money into the bot, and now everything this guy buys, it will automatically buy for you in your own units. So I would invest in a project that has their own copy trader bot, things like that, things that provide a service to all these people in this space. These different sniper bots like Maestro, like you mentioned, the first thing on the call. They don't have a token yet, but their competitor called Banana Bot does. And I think that would be a good investment. Things of that nature are where I'd start. I'd take some safer plays. I'd learn how these services work and why they're valuable to these investors. And then I'd follow the people around in those chats and seeing what they're going to buy and why they're buying these things.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense, dude. I just ultimately, want my people that are around me to win, right? The reason that I brought you on today is because you've done really well with helping me navigate this space. The people in our group have helped me, and I try to help them, and I feel like we can all work together in this space to do well. The reality is we're not all going to win on every single time. There's stuff that you've won on that I'm like, I'll never forget the Land Wolf one as an example, right? You literally said, and this is when I kind of first got in the group. I was newer to the group. You're like, hey, get some ETH ready. And like, I didn't know that was like code for like, hey, I know what's going on with this project. You definitely need to have a heads up and be ready. And I was like, sometimes it takes all night. I'm going to sleep. And I freaking go to sleep, dude. And I wake up to see this chart. And I was like, oh God, I slept through a massive opportunity, right? So that was an example of where a lot of people in the group did really, really well. And then somebody like myself slept through it. But it kind of happens in waves where like some things will happen good for me, somebody else did it, but we can all work together for that greater good. So let's talk kind of to finish off the chat about this. I want to give you the opportunity. Let's go through just real quick. What are your top 3 networks? And then give me a few projects on each network that you think are going to do really well. So tell me, first of all, what are your top 3 networks you think right now for Memecoins?
TON is number 1 without a doubt.
Okay.
We kind of went through a few of the reasons as to why, but I think that the injection of money and ability onto the network will bring an absurd amount of volume, and I'm just super bullish on TON. Yep. Second, I really love Matic. Like I've been a Polygon guy since the last bull run. I think it's a great investment. I've actually spoken on a panel with the team at a Miami conference. We were actually on TV, and I spoke with them a bit. They are, some of the highest intellectual individuals I've ever met. Mm-hmm. Just genius people. They know what they're doing. They're building something really cool. The Memecoin, I guess, sector tried to segue over there. There's been a few really good plays, but it's been tough because the lack of volume in that area. Like, people just want to buy and stake Polygon because there's absurd APYs they offer. There's absurd grants they offer through their programs. Like, people are building real utility plays through it. And it's very similar to ETH. So it's low transaction fees, quick speeds. It's very efficient network. I love Polygon. And then
but Polygon's problem is it needs more volume because the volume's on ETH, the volume's on Solana, the volume is elsewhere. It's not on Polygon, is what you're saying.
It needs more volume if you want to segue into the memes, right? Like, as of right now, it's fine as a network in general. And token price around 90 cents, I suppose. But I think last bull run it did $3.20, something like that. I see it going 10 plus. So I'm holding on to a big bag of Polygon. And then third, it's I don't know, it's a bit difficult. Like, I love what Base is trying to do. They really just kind of ripped off ETH and just made it super quick and no gas fees. And there's a lot of builders on Base right now, a lot of good projects. And I'm not going to say I like Solana because I hate it. I hate the fact that it's crashed over 30 times. I hate the fact that there's network blackouts and people have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars just sitting there and they can't touch it. Like, that's scary, right? Like, when you have real money in a network and you're not able to access it because the network is congested, that's a problem, right? It's like, how can people continue to trust this network as things grow, as their money grows, and these things keep happening? So it's really tough. But the thing that I do like about it is there's a huge community around it. So if they're able to sort their shit out and prevent these things, I know they said they'd be deploying updates this week. I've yet to see them, but if they come and they're able to sustain, the influx of money that's coming in, then I do see it turning around. As of right now, I hate it, but I am still investing on it. It's just tough, you know. It's really twofold. Like there's a love-hate relationship here, where I love the fact that you can get in and out of plays really quickly. I love the amount of volume that comes to a lot of these plays.
Mm-hmm.
But I do hate the congestion side to it. I do hate the lack of security to it. And yeah, so those are my top three.
Okay. Now let's talk about just a couple specifics. Now, let me just throw this out to everybody. There's going to be a couple of these that I own. There's going to be a couple of these that Larry owns. We're not taking this opportunity to pump our own bags, just trying to talk about some projects to where, like we've talked about in the past, to be real. We know people involved in these projects that we're about to just bring up. And so we're either a part of the team or know somebody that's part of the team. And the great thing is some of the things that Larry was talking about, this is where you can have some more, wherewithal to stand through some of the highs and lows of a project, because you know that the team is trying their damnedest to grow. So let me give you my top one, and then you can tell me what yours is. My top, and I know this isn't going to be any surprise to anybody on here, but my top on TON is going to be Tonald. I love it for a number of different reasons. I can show you just real quick. I started to pull this up earlier, but the chart right now is looking nice. You can see this. I put this on. It's going to be huge. I can't speak like Donald Trump, but we're back up to about almost a $1 million market cap, 940K market cap, which is fantastic to see. Because I am involved in that project, I know what's happening, and I love that on the white paper. I was showing this earlier, but on the white paper, there is stages of what's happening for this roadmap, right? The roadmap talks about the AI, the AI bot launch. We have literally a guy that sounds like Donald Trump in our group that will respond to messages. It's freaking fantastic. There is the NFT collection and the MAGA hats that are going to go, and the money's going to go to the Trump campaign and the National Veterans Foundation. There is the Twitter show that's going to be kind of like Apprentice coming out. There is a DAO that's coming out. There is this huge challenge. Listen, there is a lot happening, and this is utility that started with a meme. This was a meme coin that started with a vision, right? That started with wanting to do more than just be a meme coin. So that's my favorite on TON. What would be one that you would talk about? I know you're part of the Tonald group as well. What would be one that you would say on TON?
Yeah, I also love Tonald, obviously. Great narrative, great name. I love the people that are building on there right now.
Yeah.
If you guys did check out my Twitter for your viewers, you could see I posted my top 10 coins on the TON network. But I will say that there are a few that stand out separate from that list. I'd say the biggest is called Redo. I've been in Redo since a $2 million market cap. It represents the digital resistance. It's like the whole narrative around Telegram and taking over and creating this cult-like vibe to this community.
Is it this, Larry?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Redo the resistance dog.
Correct. It's at, I think, a $75 million market cap now. Called it on my channel 2 million. It went from 2 million to 6 million, back to 2 million to 10 million, back to 2 million, and then went all the way to 40 million and then dipped back to 10. And I told everyone when it went back to 10, we got to buy back in. So we did, and it just took off last night. I think it went from 50 to 75 in 2 hours or so.
So the volume's there for TON.
Someone just in a $30,000 buy, just say 85 million.
Somebody just bought a $30,000 buy right now.
Yep, right now.
So the volume, Larry, is there for TON. It's just people. Listen, the thing about TON for me is that it needs to be listed on Coinbase. It needs to be listed on some of these main exchanges for people just to be able to just have a simple way to buy it, because people are so freaking lazy that even with an opportunity sitting in their lap, they're like, oh, I got a bridge. That's scary. I don't know how to do. Or, oh, I got to go over here and buy it from this exchange and not the exchange. People are lazy, dude.
Here's the thing. There's good and bad to it. And I was just talking about this yesterday. You can go on CoinW right now and buy TON with your credit card. Like it's as easy as that. You don't have to bridge. I mean, if you want to, it's super simple. Like people don't understand what bridging is. You literally just send ETH somewhere or whatever other token you want, and they send you TON. It takes literally 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You can use different websites like Simple Swap, Change Now, very easy. Feel free to reach out if you need help. But anyway, I think that the exchange listings for TON is a very good thing and a very bad thing. Here's why.
Okay.
There's only one exchange right now. Well, I should say one big exchange, OKX or something like that.
I think you can buy it on MEXC as well.
I think it's just futures trading, maybe.
Oh, really? Okay. No. I'm not arguing with you. I just for some reason thought that you could. Okay. Cool.
I mean, I suppose you can if you can trade leverage, but either way, it's not listed on any big exchanges as of right now. And by big, I mean the Coinbases, the Binances, the big guys.
Right. Crypto.com. Yeah.
Exactly. And so my take on it is once those things happen, there might be tremendous sell pressure, right? Because as of right now, the only way for you and I to go sell TON, being US residents, is through some sort of bridge. We have to bridge it back to ETH or bridge it back to another network, right? Like there's no way for us to transfer it to an exchange and cash it out to our bank account. It's impossible. So I think if those do come, there might be sell pressure where people say, okay, now I can take some money out. I'm going to take some profits. And that might happen across the network.
Never thought about that.
Now, it also could be a good thing though, right? Because the injection of money from these exchanges might outweigh that sell pressure. It might overtake it, and we'll actually see enough money to counterbalance that effect. But I just am a bit worried. I wouldn't say worried, but I am like a bit concerned about seeing where that
what
goes.
that looks like.
Happens. Yeah, exactly, and when it will happen. So I don't know. It'd be something to keep an eye out for. But I think that it's not going anywhere. Like even if it does happen, it's not going down more than 10-20%. And that's even absurd. So
yeah.
I think
with as much as we pumped, I mean, it's almost at $7, dude. When you got me into TON, it was like $2, and that was like 2 months ago, maybe. Like it was not long ago at all. This thing has been going nuts. Okay, so TON, we got Tonal, we got Redo. There's a new one. I don't know if you want to touch this or not, but there's a new one that literally was just coming out. Or do we want to talk about the dog one that we were just talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, not sure how to pronounce it, but it's COTON.
So we'll say Cotton, the Coton, the little doggy dog, the cotton dog. Talk to me about this one.
Yeah, sure. So it launched literally at 4 a.m. last night, or Eastern. Not sure of your guys' time zones, but I think it's a solid narrative. A good thing about these TON projects right now are a lot of these developers are coming from other chains, and they're so fed up with the congestion on Solana or the JEETs on ETH, per se, and they don't want to do it anymore. And they hear all these good things about TON and how there's communities building around them, and they back them to their fullest. They genuinely care about the projects, and these guys want to come over and see what happens. So this developer actually he has great experience on other chains, and he thought exactly that. He's like, I'm done with all these other launches. They're stupid. I'm not even making money. I'm just doing this for other people. I want to come on TON and see what happens. So I kind of, gave him the crash course, and walked him through kind of what it takes to get involved on TON and how to build a community, different steps in terms of marketing. And so he decided, this dog was a good narrative. He came up with it.
Look at this dog, dude.
I think it's pretty funny.
This dog is cute as hell, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, right. He asked me for help with it. Said no problem. I believe in it. I think it's a good idea. I think the main thing behind a lot of these projects is like it's not even about relating the narrative to the project. It's more like let's onboard more people to TON.
Yeah. For sure, bro.
Being able to help with this is also being able to help bring more attention and more investors onto the chain. Yeah. Last night when this launched alone, I think I onboarded about 11 people onto TON, just individually, one by one in DMs. Hey, download CoinKeeper, follow these steps. This is what you got to do. Yeah. And it really helps out because this brings their eyes to all the other projects going on and things that you can recommend. And they're actually going to make a ton of money from these different projects. And it's not just Coton, I think Coton can send and be some sort of a gateway into this whole ecosystem. But Yeah, it's more about, bringing these bigger players onto the chain.
People over onto the chain. If you guys are looking and you wanted to get in, like check out either of those, or you're just like, hey, I don't know how to get on to Ton, go to tonald.vip. That will take you in, and if you scroll down past the roadmap, you'll see how do you get some Ton. Download CoinKeeper, get some Ton. A couple ways you can do that, and then if you wanted to buy Tonald, obviously you could do that on StoneFi on there as well. Dude, I'm super bullish on what's happening on Ton. And the thing on top of that is that the projects that have taken off on Ton, they do so exponentially well. So let's just use one of those as an example, whether it's Tonald or Koton, one or the other. Let's use Tonald. Tonald's at like 970K right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's say this thing just did like really well, but not something quote unquote insane. Let's say this thing did $30 million. That's a 30x from where we're at right now. And if you tell somebody in the crypto markets that something's at $30 million, they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. So it's a lower market cap, whatever. I think it's so early for Ton that people that are coming over are going to be, and again, this is not financial advice, but people are going to be rewarded for taking that step of maybe uncomfortability for a second to go on to a different chain that they're not comfortable with. I've been talking about this a lot. Hey, even the people that I just talked to about on X and on my YouTube channel, if they listened in the first time I called that out on here, they would have gone from like $2.10 all the way up to almost $7 right now. I keep patting myself on the back about that. And it's, Larry, you brought me into it. I listened to you, right? I was like, oh, he knows something that I don't. He knows the Telegram community. He's done well there. Ton is a piece part of what's happening in the Telegram community. I should probably listen to that. And I was smart enough to be able to take in the information and say, yeah, I'm going to give that a shot. So I challenge everybody to do that. All right, so two more. Hit me with two more projects. Hit me with something on Base. You got anything on Base?
I do. There's a project called Pleb. Yeah, Pleb.
Okay. All right.
And I don't even know how to explain this narrative. It's like a noob.
Okay.
It's like someone that's shy and nerdy and weird, and kind of just sums up like the crypto guy per se. Like,
does it have like a little face with a triangular
blue weird face? Mimi.
He looks like it's like, I'm just trying to see if
it's at an $8 million cap. I think
it's at what?
8 million.
Oh no, so that's not it. Hold on a second. This is like 9. It's a PLEB, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I see it. Hold on a second. Here we go. And this is on Base. 6.48 million. Yeah, right here. Okay.
Yeah. So it's got like the thing that I like about Pleb, like this goes back to what I was saying about.
This is a nice chart, dude.
Yeah, not bad.
This is on the hourly. I mean, we are literally steadily climbing. This is really nice. Okay, go ahead.
I think I first shared in my chat a bit sub 2 million, but it's done pretty well. So the thing about Base and why I like plays like this is because they built a really solid community around this, and it's like a weird narrative. It kind of fits into this whole, degen space, and people are interested in it. I just think that people are moving a lot of money to Base because of the fees and the efficiency and the rate of transactions. So at that point, like you kind of want to invest in community. It's hard to believe as like a newbie, or whatever you want to call it, where you just get in and you say, oh, it's just community run. It's a pump and dump, like whatever. Like, sure, you can call it that, but it's not, they're not dumping it. They've built a solid community around it where people are meeting each other. And you almost think of it as like a networking event. It's weird, but it's a way to think of it. Yeah. And you're meeting all these people from all over the world. You're in DMs like, hey, what are your thoughts on Pleb? Like, where do you think this is going? Start talking, you find out where they're from, what they do. Like, you're just building relationships through a community like that. And it grants you other opportunities outside of this one meme coin. So, it may not be the holy grail, but it's definitely a way to meet more people. And like I said, in the advice I gave, like that's your goal, right? Find those people that you want to win with, you want to trade with, surround yourself with them, form your group and make something of it. And once you're able to do that, you're going to see a lot of success outside of these random little memes.
I love it, dude. I love it. Last but not least, give me something on, I don't even want to talk about Solana because it's pissed me off recently with the outage. Give me something on ETH.
on ETH. There's a
Anything
few,
up and coming, anything new that's on ETH that maybe has got your attention, or?
It's just tough right now because a lot of these people hate paying the gas fees, right? It's always been a huge problem.
Yep.
A lot of retail investors are coming in and they want to invest, a couple bucks here and there. But when you invest $1,000 in something, which is a lot of money to a lot of people,
of course,
and your gas fees in and out total next to $200, how can you risk 20% of your investment on the fees? It just doesn't make sense to any traditional finance investor or someone with smart money. Like it's absolutely nonsense.
Yeah.
So it's just tough because there's a lot of real utility builders on ETH and a lot of really, really cool projects. But it's just hard for a lot of these smaller guys, and it doesn't grant them the opportunity to invest in it. But, just talking about a few projects I'm in, I guess, there's one called Bets where they're kind of gamifying Telegram chats, BETZ. And I think they're doing something pretty cool. They're creating a way to build games in your Telegram lounge, let's say. Like my lounge, for instance, if I wanted to incorporate the Bets utility, I can start a bet for that night. Hey, do you guys think Keeper is going to get laid tonight? For instance. And the chat can either bet.
And you can bet on that?
Yep. The chat can either bet yes or no. The money gets all pooled, and then the winners get paid out automatically.
Guys, don't ever bet against me on that one, by the way. I'm just throwing it there. So you can put out whatever kind of a bet that you want.
Yep. You can also do like pools around sporting events, for UFC fights, football games. You can start a poker game within your chat, and the first, let's say, 8-9 players that join are in the game. There's a lot of cool things to it, but I like supporting projects like that on ETH where, again, they're trying to provide a service to this whole degen space. Like things that they're really building, cool tech that doesn't exist. How can we make something of this? How can we get it everywhere in front of everyone's eyes? And I think something like that can get added into every lounge or alpha chat, whatever you want to call them that there is, and just get a ton of exposure, which will ultimately funnel money back to their token,
And ultimately it's gonna continue to introduce people to that part of this new project, this new ecosystem. Just it's gamifying things where otherwise, which is big, right? People that gamify some of these things, people look at it and say, oh, wait a minute here. I enjoy doing this and I can, make some money off of it. I'm in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
People are pretty simple overall. So, all right, crypto fam, Larry, thank you very much for coming on. Guys, if you're not already following Larry the Whale, we went a little bit long today, but I wanted to definitely dive deep into some things in the meme coin space. Larry, thank you so much for coming on, bro. If you're not following Larry, make sure to follow him. I've got his link down below the stream. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, anything that you're looking for, jump in. This is on my X. I've got a Telegram chat, and ultimately one of them is just a channel where only I can speak, and then the other one that's pinned there is the group where you can chat. I just started doing that, and I will only be giving out like solid, like I have real deal info on there. I'm not going to be just doing random, maybe this, maybe that. No, it'll be stuff that I'm genuinely a part of. So if you guys want to check that out, check it out. Larry, anything you want to leave the people with, or anything that you want to point their attention towards before we go?
Buy more Donald.
Buy more Donald. Yeah, do that. Do that, guys. Listen, it's Tonald.vip. I do own it. And we so does Larry, and we're ultimately a big part of the project. So we'd love it if you guys would support us, and we're going to do some great things. So question everything, trust nothing. And until next time, hodl like it's hot. We will see you soon.
Thanks for having me, Keeper.
Thanks, dude.